So started construction on the bridges, and it's more than just installing them. They have to get put together because I made bridge sections out of scrap. So our first long section over here is mended together on the side with that long piece there, and then on the inside on the bottom. So it's hardly noticeable. Let's take it over. And in our last video, we established our pattern. So if that sets on here, this goes up here. This is centered on the track. That's already been cut on a 3.5 degree angle. And our next piece has been cut on a 3.5 degree angle from side to side. So if we take this over here and set that section on there, we start our curve. I just need to mend the two pieces together, cut the next piece and the next piece and the next piece, and so on. My hands are a little bit oily, but not bad. They were they were suspended across those, I don't know, for over a week out in the hot sun. So here we go. So since the scrap has already been cut on 3.25, I'm just laying the pattern right on top of it, lining it up with the saw and making the cut. Really no measuring, no marking, easy peasy. It's just sitting here on top of the track. All the miters look good. I'm not terribly bothered by the joints. Now we got to get it put together. So here it is in place. Right now only being supported by this tower and this tower. My wonderful neighbors came over and helped me put this sucker in one piece. I don't mind the joints. You know, it is what it is. So right now it's sitting exactly where it needs to be sitting. No, it's not very high off the ground, but it was never meant to be high off the ground. So, next step is to put actual supports in, which are going to be rebar with a T welded across. And then we'll build towers, and I'll insert a picture. Kind of like what you just saw there. Obviously not as tall. And the towers will hide the rebar. The rebar will be doing the actual work. So we got to get below frost line here. So the other thing that you guys may have missed in an update is this path got put in all the way around the edge. Okay, back to bridge work. All right, so this section here that goes from the 3 brick over this way. It's up here. Use the patterns. You got it laid up here. Just got to get it put together. This end turned out really cool. This is the end that's going to be exposed. All right, they're all made. They're all in. I have the track screwed to them. Temporary blocking up in place. There will be a tower right at the end of this bridge and right at the end of this bridge. But those all need to be marked, and I needed to make sure that everything is operational because, I mean, trains. So we have to check clearances. I could use a measuring tape, but that's boring. So that clears easily by a 1/2 inch. This one over here, however, is really, 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 really close. Like it hit that. So this whole thing at this end needs to come up, and maybe this bridge needs to come up. And we're gonna see, and this is the first run. We're gonna see how this is the heaviest engine I have. Oh, a little bit of sag right there. Which makes sense. That is right at the joint. Because I had to make that piece longer. I'm referring to this spot right here. Now there's going to be a tower under it, so it doesn't matter. But if it makes it right now without a tower under it, I think it's going to be fine. So essentially, lift this up a 1/2 inch. We'll see what that does to the bridge, the big bridge. By the way, this bridge here, the one in front, measured is 14'7". Exciting stuff. I mean, if we're gonna ballast, might as well use it. Well, it's break time, and at this point, I'm gonna lay out where all the towers go. So I'm just gonna do that with some skinny pieces of wood that will fit through the railroad ties. But I feel it was important to have everything in place where it needs to go and so on and so forth. I like it. To start this process, we're gonna have a tower about 1 foot away, both ends. Okay, about 1 foot. Now I need to find the middle. So I am just going to hook onto here. And run the tape around the bridge. I got 151. And half of that is, well, 75.5. So, whoops. Hook back on there, maybe. Come on, you can do it. 75.5 is this tie right here. Okay. Now I know what you're saying. Johnny, those are sticking up through. What are you gonna do? Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. They're just 3/8 inch wide pieces of cedar. So I'm gonna take my pliers, nip it off. Now that's where my post goes. All right, one last thing. This is where these 3 are gonna go. But tell me what you think about this. I have to have this height here. So this is what I've come up with. I just made this thing to put under here, slide into place after everything is all said and done, and then the track can be screwed to it somewhere. The big boy went over it just fine. So let me know what you think. Do you think that we should put some pieces going across like this, attached to it, like maybe to here? I don't know. Tell me what you think. Well, I got 2 pieces of rebar in. All I'm doing is pounding right through. And this is how we start. You get that all the way down so it's below roadbed at least. Then I can use the bridge itself to mark where the piece is going to go across it, like this. And that will hold the bridge when it's welded into place. I am not digging holes and pouring concrete. Screw that. Well, all the rebar is in. I'm quitting for the day. Yeah, it looks like I'll be replacing some track. Whoops.